Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, reveal the books I bought this week, and, if I screw up, a blooper reel. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you from Southern Realms Comics and Games here in Ruston, Louisiana. And congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide. They beat Georgia 26-23 in overtime to win a national championship this past Monday. And as I've been doing for the last 3 years, I'm wearing the shirt based on the winner. This is an Alabama themed Comic Hero tee. If you look close enough, you see the houndstooth. And then you see the tides inside the speech bubble. And to go along with it, this Alabama hat with the houndstooth. Now, I want to congratulate the football team and the university in Tuscaloosa as a whole. All right, this is episode 198. 2 weeks from now, the 200th episode. I tell you, I'm really excited about this upcoming 200th episode. 200 episodes. I mean, I'm just very humbled by that. All right, then. It's time to give away a free t-shirt. All right, last week's episode, I asked true or false. Tony Stark recently found out that he was adopted by Howard and Maria Stark. Well, the correct answer is true. That's right, folks. He's not the biological son of Howard and Maria Stark like we all thought he was. In an earlier volume of Iron Man back in 2013, a story I called The Secret Origin of Tony Stark, he finds out that he was indeed adopted by Howard and Maria Stark right after his mother, whose real name is Amanda Armstrong, gave him up for adoption solely after she murdered his father, who only went by the name Jude. You see, they were agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and then shortly after he was born, Jude ended up being an agent of Hydra. And so in order to save herself and her son, she killed him. And then, feeling guilt afterwards, that's when she gave Tony up for adoption. Oh, get this. Tony Stark isn't even American. He's British. That's right. His parents, Jude and Amanda, are British. Well, anyway, 5 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in a drawing for a free tee, and that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Courtney Key from West Monroe, Louisiana. So congratulations, Courtney. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. There's a reason why I'm not hitting the can corner. Okay, left the mount. But anyway, here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What fictitious city in California is the Hal Jordan Green Lantern from? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. Now, D'Angelo Blue has done it again. He has come up with another great Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight request. And this one features power, and power with a very, 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 very negative streak. Representing DC, we have Doomsday. And representing Marvel, we have the Sentry. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Doomsday versus the Sentry. Doomsday possesses superhuman strength, superhuman speed, superhuman durability, flight, regeneration, immortality, and reactive adaptation. The Sentry possesses superhuman strength, speed, and stamina, healing factor, light manipulation, non-vulnerability, flight, enhanced senses, matter transmutation, and intangibility. Who will win? Doomsday would waste no time going after the Sentry. Heck, he wastes no time going after anyone. The Sentry would allow him to beat him up. I know what you're thinking. Vic, that's the same guy who killed Superman. What are you thinking? I'll explain in a minute. Doomsday beats the Sentry within an inch of his life. Then, just as Doomsday is about to deliver the final blow, the Sentry undergoes a startling transformation and becomes his infamous polar opposite, the Void. Whenever this happens, the Void does the exact opposite of the Sentry. Since the Sentry was almost beaten to death by Doomsday, the Void will be the one doing the beating. He rips the exoskeleton off of Doomsday and changes it into a literal olive branch, grabs his carcass, and chunks him into the sun. The Sentry wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that fight, and if you have fight requests for future episodes, contact info is down there. Alright, then it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Hey y'all, I'm in bed right now because I have to be at work in the morning, but don't worry, I'm still doing the show. I'm doing a show shortly after I get off. But there are some books that I bought over at Books A Million, and also some books I bought from my friend Tyler Smith, and I wanted to let you know what they are. Now there's quite a few of them, so I'm just going to let you know what they are. I'm not going to give a brief description. So here we go. First up is Back to the Future number 25. Phoenix Resurrection number 1. Phoenix Resurrection number 2. Phoenix Resurrection number 3. Supergirl number 14. Supergirl number 15. Supergirl number 16. Supergirl number 17. Batman number 38. Captain Marvel number 127. Now these are the books I bought from Tyler Smith. Silver Surfer number 50. Silver Surfer number 75. The Infinity Crusade number 1. The Infinity Gauntlet number 1. And finally, The Amazing Spider-Man number 375. Alright, that's 15 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 8,427. Alright, now there's two things I'm going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking. And the first one is the premiere of Black Lightning. Now for those of y'all who don't know, Black Lightning is a superhero in the DC universe who came on the scene back in the 70s. And his real name is Jefferson Pierce. What is his power? He can manipulate lightning in flight. But he's been one of those staying power characters in the DCU, and even made the transition over to the New 52 universe, which is now the DC Rebirth universe. And he also had two children who had similar powers to him, named Thunder and Lightning, who were also superheroes in their own right. And now I'm going to tell you a little story about Black Lightning that you're going to find hilarious. Okay, now right after he made his debut, William Hanna and Joseph Barbera wanted to use him for the show Super Friends, but they ended up not using him because they didn't want to pay the creators the royalties, and they had to come up with a character named Black Vulcan. And that character fortunately didn't last very long. That person came to hold a candle up to Black Lightning, as far as I'm concerned. And Black Lightning was also a member of the Justice League numerous times, including just over 12 years ago when he joined that brand new lineup right after Infinite Crisis. And I think the show is going to be good. I've seen clips from the first few episodes. I strongly believe it's going to deliver. Can't wait to see it. All right, now the second thing, and I found this out from Sean Fox, who's the sports director at Sports Talk 97.7 and also the host of the Sports Company. Found out that there's going to be a He-Man movie coming out near the end of next year, November of 2019. And I just hope that it's going to be a whole lot better than the one that came out in 1987. Some of the characters I would love to see in this movie, from the obvious characters like He-Man and / Prince Adam, and then Cringer / Balcat and Skeletor. I would also, on the good side, I would also love to see King Randor or Queen Marlena. I would love to see Tila. I would love to see Man-at-Arms. I would love to see Orko. I would love to see Stratos, Mechanic, Ram Man, Cyclone, and probably Manny Faces. Now, other characters like Fisto and Buzz-Off, I don't know about them. But definitely the ones I just named. Now on the bad side, on the side of evil, besides Skeletor, I would love to see Evil Lyn, Merman, Trapjaw, Beastman, and I don't think I want to see Stinkor or Webster. I'm not really fond of those characters, not even growing up. Besides, in the generation I grew up, there were two awesome He-Man series. There was the one from Filmation back in '83, and then there was the one from Mike Young Productions back in 2002. Although I have to admit, the production from Mike Young, the one from Mike Young Productions, was a little more darker. And then there was a backstory to a lot of the characters. I'm telling you, I still have nightmares from seeing the origin of Skeletor. He didn't always have a skeleton as a face, a skull as a face, folks. But yeah. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, I'm not going to give a brief description of each book. I'm just going to let you know what they are. First up is Teen Titans number 15. The Despicable Deadpool number 292. Detective Comics number 972. Action Comics number 995.
Oh my god, yeah. Warrior Princess.
She-Hulk number 161. Wonder Woman number 38.
At first I watched them with my mom.
Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps number 36.
till I actually start watching it and stuff. I like the story.
I do too.
Venom number 160.
She's a vampire.
And finally, The Flash number 38. All right, that's not a bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 8,436. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What fictitious city in California is the Hal Jordan Green Lantern from? Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Courtney Key from West Monroe, Louisiana, who won a free tee in this week's episode. All right, it's birthday time here on the Comic Hero Show, and happy birthday to Sierra Morrison, Ruth McCluskey, Daniel Lee, Victoria Burley, Tyler Schwanifus, Vicky Ridge, Andriana Wright, Elizabeth Bolton, Flozella Ayers, Jared Takewell, Jeremy Dozier, Jamie Baldry, Ashley Wallace, and a very special happy third birthday to Wyatt Wall. All right, and also I want to congratulate my friends Lindsay and Bo Beckton on the arrival of their third baby. Welcome to the world, Arrow Christine. I want to congratulate my friends Morgan and Seth Wyatt on the arrival of their first child together. Welcome to the world, Sawyer Lane. And also I want to congratulate my friend Patrick Mills and his wife on the arrival of their second child together, Harley. And also congratulations to Jennifer and Josh Robinson from Houma, Louisiana, who just got married. So congratulations, guys. My advice to you is my advice to just about everyone who gets married: stay married. All right. Now, it's Mardi Gras season, and beginning in next week's episode 199, I'm going to wear a Mardi Gras themed comic hero tee. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be out of 3 of the next 4 episodes. I'm going to be wearing Mardi Gras themed comic hero tees. I've decided. Y'all help me decide. I asked some of y'all if y'all wanted me to wear a special CHT that commemorated the milestone 200th episode. Y'all said yes, so I'm going to make one for that. So I will not wear a Mardi Gras themed comic hero tee for that episode. Just for episodes 199, 201, and 202. All right, but you know what? I know that I haven't gotten that far ahead, but I'm very excited about the 200th episode. I just feel very, very blessed to come and do this show, bring you a show every week. And I know the best is always yet to come, so I'm excited about it. All right, and again, congratulations to Alabama on winning the national championship. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 199 here at Southern Realms Comics and Games. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and roll tide.
Did you get a book from us?
I might have.
I'm talking about yeah, preview cast.
Yes, last week. Yes.
Okay. You handed out a preview cast because I didn't remember giving one. I was making sure I got one.
Today I'm gonna bring. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you from Southern Realms Comics and Games here in Ruston, Louisiana. And congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide who won the... Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show.
This one, if you were coming in, it'll be on this side.
Oh dear. Fictitious. Fictitious! Fictitious. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What fictitious... Oh, my gosh.
Oh my god, it's my favorite color.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. What fictitious city in California is the Hal Jordan Green Lantern from? I meant fictitious. I meant fictitious. Fictitious.